Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey, Kristen, where's Father Dad?
I don't know. Have you seen him anywhere?
I'm here,
Nowhere.
I'm here. I was outside reading the dick. Hello, everybody. It is groundbreaking time. Welcome to our gathering and update tonight. We're going to play for you now a short video, and then we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our church update. First of all, Sunday, June the 8th at 3:15. Finally, the moment has arrived. Archbishop Vasquez, our new Archbishop, is going to be out here to break ground and to start our construction of the new church. Thanks be to God. And as we are arriving to that exciting day, that historical moment of our church, it's important for us to give you some update on where we're at the church. So in the effort to do that, I'm very, very grateful to have with me on my side, Jeb Poser, who retired from his work in order to work even harder and overtime at our church, leading as a chairperson of our building committee and been working so hard, so diligently with our wonderful building team to get us to where we are today. Jeb, on my own behalf and on behalf of the church, thank you so much for everything that you do for us. And thank you so much for being here today.
You bet.
Helping me to reach out to our people to give us update in preparation for this great event of our parish.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, I want to let you know that we are doing amazing with the generosity with the people with the capital campaign. We are currently at $22 million in pledge and give. Wow, what an incredible generosity. And we have already received $11.6 million in redemption. Brothers and sisters, I can't thank you enough for this incredible generosity. It's the generosity of the people of God that is making things happening. We do want to reach that 23 million and beyond, because every dollar that we bring in will help to alleviate the monthly debt that we'll be paying to the Archdiocese once we move into the church, God's willing, in 2 years, in the summer of 2027. So I continue to call on the goodness of the people of God. Currently, we have 38% participation in the capital campaign. We still have all that potential for those who have not had the opportunity to participate yet. So I call on you, my dear good people of God. We only get to build a church once in a lifetime. So let's come in together and build this beautiful church, the center of divine mercy, where many souls will be there to be welcomed into the divine mercy of the Lord. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and let that generosity carry on. I also want to say that the building committee has been working so hard, so diligently, and a lot of things are in place and in position for us for this momentous day of our parish. So I will turn it over to Jeff so he can give us some of that update.
You bet. And thank you very much, Father Dad. On behalf of the building team, it's a privilege to be able to work on a project like this on behalf of the whole parish. So thank you for your trust in the building team. It's very exciting. We have come a very long way in the last 2 years. I think before we give an update on where everything is, everybody always wants to know exactly what are we going to be building.
Of course.
Yes, we are going to pave the gravel parking lot, Father.
Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Okay. That's
Thanks
what
to
most
the
people are interested in,
generosity.
but yes, but thanks to your generosity, we were able to keep that in the scope. So just in summary, we will build a beautiful new sanctuary for God's glory, the center of divine mercy. Included in that will be a little over 2,000 seats. We'll have an adoration chapel for 24-hour perpetual adoration that will seat 45 people. We will have a covered porte cochere and drop off for people. It'll be 2 cars wide, so we can get 2 cars through there dropping people off. and a covered walkway from there all the way to the church. In addition to that, we'll be adding over 300 new paved parking spaces, so a lot of more paved parking spaces as well. And one of my favorites is we will include a bell tower with 3 real bells.
Yeah.
To ring in and proclaim time for liturgy. So where are we? We have finished all the detailed design. We have signed a construction contract. It's called a GMP contract.
GMP standing for?
For guaranteed max price. So it gives us a cap on what this church can cost. We're working with Stewart Builders, so we're very excited. They've been very helpful in finding ways to also reduce money. We made early purchase on a number of big items like steel and the pews because they were about to have big cost increases. We have all of our permits from the city of Fulshire, from the fire marshal, so those are in hand.
Yeah.
So everything is set for the groundbreaking, and the real construction starts right after the groundbreaking.
Yay. Yay. My heart is overwhelmed with gratitude to you, to our community, to the greater community, the city of Fulshire. The Archdiocese has been so tremendously helpful supporting us, and to the construction company and to our wonderful architectural company. Together, we have worked so hard on this much needed church. What we set out to do at the beginning, to create really this place of worship that when people enter, they experience the encounter with the divine. They experience the warm and welcome embrace of the Lord. And everybody that looks at this church be able to unmistakably say, that is the Catholic Church that stands for the faith and the beautiful tradition of the church.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait for that to rise here. And all of that is about to happen, about to kick off due to all the goodness, all the generosity of the people of God. And I can't thank you enough. So I want to call on you to continue to do that. Come in together. I can't wait to celebrate the groundbreaking with the Archbishop and with our wonderful, wonderful community. Thank you, thank you, thank you is all that I can say. So I want to bless you all, and I can't wait to be there with you. So Jeff and I will now be open to any question that you might have, all the details that you might have, so that we may be able to give you all the updates that we need. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome back. Let me take down this hat, which I can't wait to wear on Sunday to break the ground for us. Before we begin, I would like to invite us who are joining us now live via online, as well as who are going to watch later. Let's begin with a prayer, because it is in the Spirit of the Lord that we do everything that we do. So, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Merciful and gracious God, thank you for gathering us together this time, that as we prepare for the amazing milestone of our community, of the breaking ground of the building of our new church, of building the center of divine mercy, a place of encounter between heaven and earth. We ask you, Lord, to be with us, to bless all of us. We ask you, Lord, to bless everyone who has given so generously to make what we do possible. Bless everyone in our community, so that we may grow together to be a temple of living stone to radiate Christ's mercy. Bless our time together tonight. Bless our every single step of the way as we surrender and entrust to you. And we call upon the intercession of our Blessed Mother to be with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. All right. Welcome, everybody. And it is a beautiful time for us to be together and to share with the community our joy, to share with the community update of where we are at, what we are doing as we prepare to celebrate this Sunday at 3:15 on the very perimeter and ground of our new church with our new Archbishop Vasquez, who is going to break ground and bless the work of construction of our new church. I'm very blessed to have with me, to my right, is Kristen, who have served as a chairperson of the Finance Council, as well as the co-chair of our capital campaign. Kristen, thank you so much for everything that you do and for being here today. To my left is Jeff, who is the chairperson of the building committee. He has been working very, very diligently and very, very hard to get us to where we are today and continue to do so, leading us to the day, which I can't wait, for us to dedicate the church and celebrate Mass there with the community. Wow, what an exciting time. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the goodness, all the generosity. Thank you so much for coming together to do what we are doing. Thank you for being with us tonight so that you can be well informed about what we are doing, about the meaning behind what we're doing, and you can share that with the community. So thank you so very much. I want to say, first of all, is again, nothing but gratitude. The goodness and the generosity of this community is incredible. And how much we need this church right now. The Lord has blessed us amazingly with incredible growth since day one. And as of today, brothers and sisters, we are over 7,000 registered family and going and going. By the time we enter into this church, we'll be over 8,000 families. And you've seen it every weekend, except for the two morning mass. Our masses are overflowing, and many of our brothers and sisters are attending Mass on this CCE building, and we bring communion over. That's another thing that I'm so moved as a pastor with gratitude, is that people come, and despite the inconvenience, first in the warehouse, in the school, over to this building, and now having to have the overflow Mass, people come and be this part of the community of divine mercy. And for that, I'm at awe every weekend. I'm so moved and so grateful for that. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Kristen and Jeff and I are here because we'd like to take the opportunity to inform the community of what we're doing, as you saw in that video. And also, we'd like to invite you, if you have any question, please now send them over to us. Send them via the comment, either on the YouTube comment or on the Facebook Live comment. And we're here to answer all the questions that we have as we prepare for this really, really exciting time. So I want to, first of all, ask Kristen, who is our chairperson. She knows our number really, really well. We're blessed with a wonderful, solid finance council who's been working very hard with me, as well as an amazing capital campaign. And the only reason we could go to where we are today is because the incredible generosity of God's people. So, and so I'm gonna turn it over to Kristen to speak to us a few words about that before we turn over to Jeff to give us some update about the church.
I just want to echo gratitude. It's just been so awesome to be a part of this. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this beautiful journey that we're on. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
So here we go. Just a part of the capital campaign, we already said we've received $22 million in pledges, and our goal is $23 million. So we're very confident that
Actually,
we can
our
get there.
goal is $40 million.
That's
I'd
right.
like to pay
That's
up
right.
the church.
That's right. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
But our capital campaign goal is 23.
That's
right.
right. That's
Uh-huh.
right. That's right.
Uh-huh.
So we're headed towards trying to get to that $23 million mark. We have exciting things coming up. We have on Friday, we're going to launch our third tranche of naming opportunities.
Yay.
So be looking out for that. It's going to go live on the website, and also you will receive a paper copy in the mail sometime, hopefully by the end of this week, maybe beginning of next week. So it's got really fun things, bells, bell tower, the beautiful dome, the frieze, artwork, shrines. So we're looking forward to that. I hope you feel inspired by that.
Uh-huh.
We're starting to reach out to foundations and ask them for help. So keep in mind, we still have the Memorial Brick opportunity. That's still going really strong. So lots of exciting opportunities to join us in building the Center of Divine Mercy.
Yes. So it's exciting now that we are beginning the construction. We're beginning to have more and more details of the church, which enable us to make those opportunities available in terms of the artwork, in terms of a lot of more details that we're able to put it out there so that people will have the opportunity to participate and support this beautiful building of the Center of Divine Mercy while being able to commemorate in honor of our loved one for years to come. So very grateful to that. So Jeff, fill us in a little bit more about the church now. I know we spoke a little bit about it on the video. So tell us about the church. People are very interested in they want to know, questions are already coming in. People want to know about the kneelers. People want to know more about the arts and things like that. So please fill us in a little bit more about where you're at right now at the church.
Sure. And Father Dad, on behalf of go ahead. You want to ask me a question first?
Another question that everybody's been asking me every time I see him. When are we going to finish the church? So as soon as you're ready, that's the burning question right now.
All right. 2 years from now.
Okay.
We'll get that one out of the way. So sometime around by June of 2027, we, God willing, will be consecrating this church, and we'll fine tune that as we go along. But I think, just on behalf of the building team and myself, again, to the whole community and to you, Father Dad, this is a privilege and just an honor to be able to work on this project. So I thank you all very, very much. We have a great building team with some real professionals. And so just a brief update, as I mentioned in the video section, we have our signed contract with our general contractor, Stewart Builders. As you can see, they're beginning to mobilize. They're laying out the church. So as soon as we've done with the groundbreaking, the next week you're going to start seeing dirt being moved.
Yes.
And we'll be moving very quickly at that point. The first things that are going to go in are obviously the parking lots and the foundation. So I think everyone will be happy to know that we're putting in parking lots early.
Tell us about the parking lot that
Sure.
everybody
You mean
when they
that
drive in.
You mean that gravel parking lot?
The gravel parking lot, everybody. Good news, we are going to pave them, and we're going to pave them as soon as we can, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're actually putting in 3 new parking lots, over 324 new paved parking spaces. So I think that's going to be a real help. And then by October, the steel work will start going up. So we've already signed those contracts. We did that early to save some money. And the steel will start going up in April or so next spring. You'll see the masonry and exterior and the roof going on. At that point, they'll have it dried in, and there's a tremendous amount of work to be done, obviously, then on the inside. to build it out. And God willing, come April, May, June of next year, we'll be finishing things up, commissioning everything, making sure it's working, and planning for the consecration.
That's wonderful, Jeff. So I'm going to ask our AV team, as the questions are coming in, to go ahead and if you could either hand them to us, and we'll look through them and we'll answer them as we go along the way. So one of the questions, Jeff, that a lot of people are interested in for some reason is about the Neulers. So we have some questions that was already submitted and questions are coming in now. Thank you all so much for sending in those questions. One of the questions that a number of people have asked is, will the Neulers be more comfortable than the ones we have now? This person, maybe I'm the only one that's asking about this, but no, you're not the only one. People are asking about the Neulers and if they are more comfortable. So in my opinion, I think we should make them really, really hard for penance and prayers, but I'll let Jeff answer that question.
Well, fortunately, Father Dad didn't have the final say on that particular selection. Yes, we will have kneelers. They will be padded. We have invested in what the pew manufacturer considers their premium kneelers. We're buying our pews from New Holland, which is probably the most reputable pew manufacturer in the U.S. They're going to be beautiful pews and of quality construction. So we will have kneelers, and they should be far more comfortable than what we have now.
That's wonderful. So Kristen is she's reading those questions, and as the question come up,
Here
Kristen,
we go.
you can just share them with us.
Okay, so they say the conceptual images don't appear to have projector screens. How will lyrics be available during Mass?
All right, that's a great question, everybody. So you have 2 years to memorize every song between now and then, so that we can go in and sing from memory. So that's a tall order. Actually, it's a question that we have to really discern a lot, because there's a lot of discernment, a lot of prayer. In fact, it's one of those questions that we actually spend more time on discerning.
We did.
Also bringing in the director of liturgy from the Archdiocese. I was consulting with a lot of pastors, liturgists, and even consulting with our own Archbishop. So we are, when we move into the church, you notice that when we set out in the beginning, because we always bring in new people. In the beginning, before we built a church, we came together as a community. That was so beautiful, Jeff and Kristen. And we wanted to discern what was important to us, so that when we set out, and whenever we have, because we have a very diverse community, and there's always different, I think, preference in different way. But once we have our principle, we'll go back to that. And so those principles that we decided to build our church together, number one was, we want to make sure that this place is an encounter between heaven and earth. That when we gather together, there's this noble simplicity, yet it draws us to the divine presence of the Lord. So that every time we gather for liturgy, it's an encounter between heaven and earth. We also wanted to make sure that this place is welcoming. It's the center of divine mercy. So whenever it is the Lord who desires to draw all the souls to come and take refuge in the Lord, the Lord always extending his hands and welcome soul to his heart. That was important to us, welcoming. We also wanted to make sure that this was, it was very important to the community when we're discerning this, that this is unmistakably Catholic, that speaks of the faith and the tradition of the church. I love that. So that for hundreds of years to come, as people try back and forth from far away, when they see it, they know there stand the Catholic Church. It's also important for us that this church that we build convey the message of divine mercy. For that is our mission and our call to be a center of divine mercy. So those are the principles, Jeff, that we discussed together at the beginning.
Yes,
right?
very much.
And so when it comes to the music, you notice for a long time, when we begin in the school, we have the screen. And then now that we moved to this place, we don't have pew per se with the pockets and things like that. So we depend on the screen to help us to be able to sing. Now, there's advantage and disadvantage to both. The advantage of having the screen is you don't have to print a lot of paper or a lot of books, and when you close the book, and so there's always pros and cons to everything. And also people looking up and everybody looking up, singing. A lot of church find that easier to engage. The disadvantage of that is it can also be a distraction. So let's say in a very beautiful sanctuary where we build to draw a lot of eyes to the sanctuary, to the action of the liturgy, the screen over there can be a distraction for a lot of people and sometimes can be imposing. So if we have the book or the printout for our songs, for those who find the screen imposing, they have the choice if they want to pick up the book and sing from there. And so additionally, because of the setting, the way that we chose to build our church to be more traditional, the screen doesn't fit in there well. So after a lot of consultation and bringing in the choir director and a lot of prayer, we have to make a decision. And that decision was to not use a screen, and we are going to use the hymnal as well as the printout for the worship aid for the songs when we go into that church. Now, this is important to me as a pastor, my dear loving brothers and sisters. No matter what we build, no matter what we do, it will never be perfect. When we close our eyes and go to the Lord, then we'll have everything. But here on earth, what the spiritual master would say is an unfinished symphony. Everything we do, it's always have its pros and cons. What I want to call us to is that we are a united nation. We are a Catholic and universal church. And the Lord, in the priestly prayer for unity, because the evil one can really try to divide us through these things. So sometimes if we really want to come together as a community, and Christ is our primary goal and His divine mercy, then when we come together to build and to do liturgy together, we have to learn to give and take. Sometimes I prefer something more than others when it comes either to music or to this or that. We have to focus on Christ and do liturgy well. That's important to us. Every Sunday, we want to facilitate an incredible and powerful encounter between heaven and earth. But as a community, we have to give and take a little bit so that for the greater unity, and if we have that, no matter what we have, we'll be able to worship so beautifully. That is my thought. So in the church, we will not have the screen like we've been doing, but we'll provide the worship aid as well as the hymnal. But we are planning, so when we have other events like praise and worship, and when we want to be able to play video for the church, we do. Can you speak to that?
Sure.
The option that we have for that?
Yeah. As Father said, the intention is not to have screens during liturgical services during the Mass, but we do know, we hope that this will be a center of divine mercy. We may have conferences here, youth gatherings and things like that, and in those cases, having a screen projector is important. So we are, as part of the budget, investing in quite high quality, it's called a rear view projection projector, and large portable screens. For a church this size, if we were to put screens up front, they had to be something like 10 foot by 30 foot. They would be movie theater size screens, very difficult. So these are large portable projectors that can, and screens, and also some roll-in TVs to catch the aisles as well. And we've got the plugs and the connectors in order to plug those in and project into those screens for use
Yeah.
for non-liturgical services.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of music, everyone wants to know, will we have an organ?
Oh, yeah. So, yes. So I will let Jeff speak into that. In fact, we're coordinating a meeting on that right now.
Absolutely, yeah. We're still getting some bids in from a couple of real quality organ manufacturers. It will not be a pipe organ. A pipe organ for a church this size is on the order of $5 million, and that was just
Now,
that's a great opportunity.
if someone
for
sent in
future.
$5 million today, we will have a pipe organ.
Yes.
I promise you. But we have to go ask the Archbishop for
But-
permission. But if you want to donate the pipe organ today, we'll
We'll do that. But we left the size and space up on the third level in order to accommodate a pipe organ. What we are going
Yes.
to put in is a very high quality digital organ. I think if you're like me, I can't tell the difference between the two because my ear is just not that good. But yes, we will have a very quality organ, and we're working with a couple of excellent manufacturers to select who will provide that organ.
Yeah, and it's going to be beautiful. The sound will be very glorious and very liturgical, glorious, draw us to the glory of God. But at the same time, they also have a little bit of a facade so that you can kind of see that, the experience of organ.
Maybe, because a lot of people ask about, well, how will the sound work? And from the day one, we hired an acoustician to help us make sure that the sound in this church will work, because that's a challenge to accommodate an organ, contemporary music, the spoken word. And anyway, so there's been an acoustician working. We'll have acoustical materials in parts of the church to properly absorb sound, and fingers crossed, but it should work out very well.
Yeah. So there's a few questions about the music. The question about when we go to the music, we will play more traditional music or we will play more contemporary music. So I want to speak a little bit to that because that's important to me as a pastor. My heart as a pastor, and especially as a pastor of St. Faustina Church, we want to embrace everybody. The church is a universal church, and where we are calling everybody to the Lord. And you know that every time we go to our church here on Sunday and you look out, I get to look out and love this community. And it's literally a united nation. The school around here, people speak 30-something languages. And that's so beautiful. That's a beautiful, we get to be that church. And so it is important for us that in our church, there's always a place for saints and sinners. We are all fellow sinners coming together. And we're all at different places in our journey. And we come from different cultural background. And some contemporary music speaks to some people. And traditional music speaks to some people. And as a family, I desire to have a place where everybody feel at home. So we set up this church in such a way that we're able to have a vision of the music so that we can have both traditional and contemporary, inspiring, lifting, expressive music. The key is to do it well, whether it's in traditional or contemporary. When music is done well and properly, it's uplifting, and that's what we are aiming for. That's the goal of our music ministry, is to have a place where it's done well, it's uplifting, it draw us to the Lord, and it also have a place where people with different preference and desire for music will feel at home in our parish. So that's my desire. So to that end, it's important for us to have organ. It's often to have to we took a lot of time to consult with sound so that when we do play this beautiful, meaningful music, that is able to accommodate that and have we're able to embrace all of us in that celebration of the Lord. And again, as a pastor, I call on that. I think that we have to Sometimes there's genre that I prefer a little bit more than others, but when we go there, we lay it there, and together the key is we lift our heart, we praise and worship the Lord together. And when we do it well, it's beautiful and it's uplifting, and it will be positioned to be able to do that for our community.
Okay, we have questions about handicap. Can you tell us about logistics, drop off, length of walk to the church, designated seating and communion, and handicapped parking number and location after drop off?
That is a great question, and that's so important to us. We spend a lot of time thinking about that. So Jeff, can you take us away with that?
Sure, I'm just trying to get a dimension here. So first off, as far as handicap goes, there will be a lot of handicap seating spaces, so we're leaving basically openings in the pews, and they've been arranged all around, from right on the front row, in the center row, off to the aisles, to hopefully, because we talk to people, not everybody wants front row. Most people don't, of our people who need the handicap section don't want to be in the back corner either. So they've been dispersed throughout to allow for flexibility and personal choice. So I really, really hope that people will find that helpful, because we had a lot of conversation about that.
We also increase our capacity for parking.
Absolutely. And one thing we're doing is hopefully alleviating some traffic jams. So now there will be a road that takes you from 1093 all the way to the CEC, and it will go around. It will have a cutoff that if you want covered drop off, there's a porte cochere. It's 2 lanes wide, so 2 cars at a time could be loading or unloading, and then there'll be a covered walkway from that porte cochere to the new church.
Yeah.
That walkway, I think, is about 100 feet long, something on that order of magnitude. The other walkways, travel time to the church is roughly what it is today. The church is just slightly further from the gravel lot than the current worship space, but not very much. So,
Will there be a kids center?
A who center?
A kids center.
Will there be a kids center? Yeah, okay. Like a center for kids. Like children.
Yes.
You're talking about children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Well, they, of course, our parish is, what do you call it? Our parish is so young. Carlo Donato, every time he comes out here, he said, your average age is 12 years old. I think he said that based on how he see the pastor, I believe. No. So this is important to me. I want our parents who have small children to feel welcome. It's so beautiful to see them bringing their children to church, and sometimes they're crying and it's a bit awkward for them. First of all, I want to call on our community, please make them feel at home and welcome. They're trying very hard. They bring their children to the church, and sometimes the children cry. You know what? That's a beautiful joy for cry to the Lord, Parents, if they started crying so hard, like I was when I was little, please feel free to pick them up and walk to the back of the church. So the way we position this church is this. One, we have the concept of the cry room has changed over the year, and we did a lot of reflection and visitation on that. What we like to do is have the parents bring the children to the church, and if they cry, please feel free, and don't worry, feel free. They're so welcome and loved here. Bring them up. It's hard to have children. They'll grow up and they'll be the future priests and bishops and chairperson and building and financer. Gently carry them to the back. We have a very large narthex with a glass. So what do we call it? So they can calm them down there.
right.
And then once they calm, you can then bring them back to the church or stay there. We also have to the side, Jeff, can you talk to that
Sure.
to me, to our people about that room?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So we also will have what was called a parlor. So it'll be at the back, on the left side of the church. It's a fairly large room, all glass windows, so you have a good view into the nave and into the sanctuary. Sound will be piped in there. This is meant to be a quiet room, so we don't envision people coming at the beginning of Mass and staying there, entire families the whole time. As Father said, we want families, and this was based on a lot of consultation too with a lot of young families, want them in with the community, in the nave, worshiping. But we know kids do get unruly or have a hard time. The quiet room, the parlor is a quiet room. Take them there, quiet them down. The narthex is very large with glass windows. They could go in there. And then when ready, come back in and join the community. So there is, there's been a lot of thought put into young families.
Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of the questions that are coming in, we do want to be a little bit conscious of time, so that we want to make sure we answer as many questions as possible while we add it.
All right, so next
we'll
one.
Pick up the pace just a little bit.
Okay.
Keep sending them in.
What will be external access to the Adoration Chapel? Is there an airlock for both security and reduced distraction when coming and going?
That's a wonderful question.
Yeah, so yes, there'll be 24-hour access. There'll be an external door. After hours, the main doors into the Adoration Chapel from the church proper, from the nave, will be locked. You will come in, there will be a vestibule, so a place to sign in, so you won't enter immediately into the chapel. So yes, it will also be quieter for people coming in, so it'll be secure, it'll be quieter, and we think it's going to be a beautiful space for worship.
And there'll be a bathroom.
There will be a bathroom there as well,
Oh,
absolutely.
there you go. That'd be important to us.
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, this is interesting. What material is being used for the interior walls and ceiling? Do
Okay.
you know the material?
Sure, I mean, these are double wall constructions on the outside, masonry on the inside. It will be sheetrock basically, right? So it's a sheetrock. We do have certain walls that will have an acoustical material. You shouldn't even be able to tell the difference, but yeah, absolutely. But it'll be beautiful painted, lots of trim work and things like that. So.
Awesome.
Also, somebody sent in a question about the shrine. Do we have a shrine to Saint Faustina where we can come and venerate and burn a candle? So we heard it loud and clear. We will, in our church, to the right of the sanctuary, have in front of the Adoration Chapel, a shrine will be the statue of Saint Faustina and her relic, so people can come and lead prayer there, as well as light a candle. In that same shrine, we will also have the shrine to John Paul II, the Holy Father, St. John Paul II, who canonized St. Faustina and established Divine Mercy Sunday. We are in the process of potentially asking for his relic. Please say a lot of prayer. God's willing, we have his relic as well. It'll be amazing. And opposite from St. John Paul II will be Divine Mercy. So, and we'll be able to have, you'll be able to go and pray and also lit the candles in there. So that will be very, very beautiful for us to have that.
Okay, Kimberly, you'd like to offer people to donate a brick in your mom's honor. This is beautiful. Thank you for this question. How do you set it up so people can donate to a specific brick? I would say go ahead and email Brenda Gillespie. She's our business manager. Her email is B and then Gillespie, GILLESPIE at stfaustinachurch.org. Or you can call her directly, 346-773-3500.
Yeah. Kristen, while we're at that, so once the commemoratives, which I'm excited for people to see them because it's so beautiful, and there's a beautiful way for us to participate in this. So if people, once they get it, let's say this weekend or on Friday, let's say if someone want to commemorate, let's say they want to be part of the bell tower, or how do they do that?
Okay, so you're going to go on the website. If you go on the home page, you're going to click on the About menu item, and then once you click on that, you click on Building Our Church item on the drop-down menu. And then after that, you click on Naming Opportunities, And if you're interested in a brick, there's a button to click for how to donate the brick, and there's an online form you can fill out. You can pay now, you can pay later. And then there's also a whole commemoratives form. And on the form, you can just select on there what item you'd like. And then you fill out your information and you submit. And then after that, you'll hear from the church office just to confirm your selection. And then if you have any questions, they'll answer them then.
Yes, we're here to support you, and so that we are able to come together and build this church. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Kristen. All right. Something else that was asked as well, that was sent in regarding the will we get communion rails or build a parking garage? You want to speak to that, Jeff?
Sure. Well, we will not be building a parking garage. I think we'll leave that to future generations when they've built out the entire campus and they're looking for more space. We will not be putting in an altar rail at this time. The church will have a beautiful sanctuary with 2 steps leading and then 4 more up around the altar. So, but we'll not have an altar rail this time.
Yeah, we'll have that in the Adoration Chapel, I believe.
There will be an altar rail in front of
so people can come and kneel
altar.
close to that. Yes.
And the intention is to use our existing altar in the Adoration Chapel so we can stay well connected to our history. It should be beautiful.
All right. And so, Christian, I want to ask, as we are wrapping up our time, and I think there might be more questions coming in, I want to so could you speak to us in terms of the cost of the church? You know, you just share about how generous people are. The pledge is right now at 22. So the question is like, because a while back we said we're debt free.
That's right.
And so a lot of people are like, wow, we're debt free, that's great. So the question that a lot of people ask is, so what is the cost of the church and how much we raise and how do we pay for it?
Okay, there we go.
If you can explain that to us.
So our max total cost of the church is $43,350,000. That's our max budget. So we're planning to receive from our generous parishioners the $23 million.
So that's about half.
That's about
of the
half.
cost.
So the other half, the Archdiocese so generously is going to loan us the money. So the max loan that we can receive from the Archdiocese is $23 million. So by the time the building is built, we will have a debt of potentially $23 million. That's pretty much where we're at. So what that translates into, based on our modeling, we used 4% interest rate for 20 years, and that is $139,000 a month that we will be paying. Just a monthly mortgage, just like your house note, right? So are we there yet? If you take a look at our offertory right now, we currently can sustain a $70,000 monthly mortgage. That is where we're at now. So do we have all this money and can we spend it with whatever we want? Absolutely not. We used a little over $4 million from the early capital campaign contributions to pay off this building that we're in right now, the CEC building. And we would like to recoup all of it, but at least as much as possible, we'd like to recoup that $4 million that we used in the initial capital campaign funds.
Yeah.
So any kind of excess money that we have now is repaying what we borrowed from the campaign.
Yeah. So the more we're able to raise in the capital campaign right now, the more it will alleviate our monthly payment once we get into the church. Because for me, I speak as a pastor, is that building the church is important, but we have to have we have to build. What is important to me is the living stone.
which is the community and the people of God. So we want to make sure that we're able to build a beautiful church, and Jeff has been very, very disciplined in making sure that we don't go beyond what we budget. There's things that we really want to do, like putting in already the stained glass window, adding another wings, that we do not do, and we work anything that we can to reduce and bring it, because we don't want to be a financial burden to the parish once we move into the church. Additionally, we don't want to be so tight that we're not able to continue to expand programs and ways for us to grow spiritually as a community. Because we all experience when we go to places where the church is magnificent, but we come in and there's no spirit in there, and there's very few people there for Mass. What we want to do is we want to build this beautiful church that continues to make disciples and draw so many people to God. And so it's important for us to be able to count on the generosity of the people, to pay as much as we could down to lower our monthly debt payment, so we can invest that in building, continue to expand and build the community, the living stone. That's important to me. And so for that, I'm very grateful. It's the capital campaign that helped us to pay what we could pay right now, to enter into the mortgage mode. But it's the Sunday giving of the people of God that sustain us, to help us pay that monthly mortgage and have to make the things happening. So for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that the people are giving both to the capital campaign very generously and to our Sunday offertory, because that's what is going to help to continue to pay it in the long run. And while we're talking about how the Archdiocese is giving us a draw, myself together with Jeff and Kristen, what the Archdiocese has done to help us, I can't even begin to describe. I'm so thankful in terms of the Archdiocese recognizing the unprecedented growth in this area of the church, the spirit and the generosity of the people of God, and to really jump in and help us every single step of the way in terms of construction, in terms of the loan. For that, I'm grateful to Cardinal Donato, to our current Archbishop Vasquez, Bishop Italo, and the chancellery staff there. They have been so amazing and good to us, and we just want to shout out and thank you. So great. As a people of God, we're so grateful. And it's already bearing so much fruit in our parish, and I'm very grateful for that. Huh? Okay, our time is running out. Any other question, Kristen, that I want to make sure that we answer before I make the final announcement to our wonderful people of God?
Let's see. Lots of questions, you guys. We didn't get to everything, so
really?
we apologize.
Throw a few out there.
Do we plan to fast track the construction for completion sooner?
Well, I wouldn't call it fast track. I'd call it, we're pushing it as hard as possible. Because we also did a lot of work around trying to minimize the impact of all these tariffs and things, because those had they hit at a terrible time. So early procurement and things like that. So, no, but absolutely, Stuart is pushing things as quickly as they can.
Okay, will we be getting a third full-time priest in the future?
That's a great question. I hope the Archbishop hear that. So I think we need to pray for vocations. We need a lot of priests. Our parish now currently have 6 seminarians in formation, 5 for the diocese, so I'm so grateful for that. A parish like ours, currently we already need 3 active priests. Poor Monsignor Borski, he retired to work so hard over here. But we'll get to the point where we would definitely need 3 full-time priests. I think that administering the sacraments to our people is so important to me, and I want to make sure that always happen here, especially in this parish. So we will get to the point where we'll ask for that for sure. We're already asking for help for priests from outside to help us.
Okay, air conditioning. How will the church be air conditioned? Will we have a new chiller plant?
We will be adding a new chiller plant. We hired an excellent controls engineer to redesign the controls for both the new and the existing plants. So we also hope to save a lot of money on utility cost, believe it or not, by having better controls. But yes, it'll be a new chiller.
All right. So we still have a lot of questions. I'm so sorry we didn't get to a lot of your questions. So we need to bring this session to an end. I want to say some of those questions. We do have a building committee as well as the finance council website. Email. So please feel free to go to our website and send in some of your questions. If you haven't got your question answered today, the building committee, the finance council is there to answer the question and to assist the parish.
As long as we can capture these, we'll add them to the FAQ. 'Cause there is
Yeah.
a running FAQ.
And so we do
on
have a
the-
running FAQ. Thank you, Jeb. We'll capture them and we'll add them to there, so you can find them there. Also, you see us there this Sunday, so feel free to reach us and ask us this question. I'm so thankful that for tuning in, asking a lot of questions for those who are with us right now and those who will be able to watch it later. Please share them. What I do want to say is this, that I want to invite everybody to come out. We don't get to build a church all the time. So this is a once in a lifetime really gift and grace that we get to experience. So please come on out. At 3:15, we will gather, and Archbishop Vasquez will do the prayer and the blessing of the ground and the breaking it. You'll get to see the perimeter of the church where the altar will be. It's amazing. The fence is already up. Come on out. It is this Sunday at 3:15. I do want to say how absolutely tremendously grateful I am. And as you see things are coming up, as you see the church are coming up, you will see, wow, this is happening, this is real. So currently, Kristen shared with me our participation rate of giving to this.
38%.
It's 38%. Imagine if the rest of us jump on board. We can do so much together. And so what I want to ask of you is, most important, prayers, that as we build this church, we build our heart, we build our community, that by this they know that we're disciples of the Lord. If the Lord, His mercy and His love is not at the center of what we do, then it makes no sense. So I want to invite us to come into prayer, grow together as a community so that we can be a beacon of light and hope and God's love for the community around us. I want to invite those who have not gotten a chance to participate to please jump on board with a lot of opportunities to do so, because it's your generosity that makes it happen, and we only get to do it once in a lifetime. And we want to leave something that will be there for hundreds of years to come, welcoming so many souls to the Lord. And most of all, I want to echo gratitude. You know, I have been so inspired, really, by the goodness and generosity. These two people next to me, people who comes to me so humble, working so hard, driving Uber, but they made a commitment that even if it's hard, they must make this to the Lord, to be part of the mission that the Lord is calling us. If you hear the story that I hear and the inspiring story of goodness, this is amazing. You can tell God is blessing us. And so for that, I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you. I feel so incredibly humble and honored to be your pastor, to be able to be this part with you as we make this milestone. So come together. It'll be a beautiful moment for us. Maybe a little bit warm, but it's Pentecost Sunday. So when the Holy Spirit comes, it's warm. But we'll celebrate it, and let's come in together and build this beautiful center of divine mercy. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be with you all, and we will see you around. God bless you.